Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. These are just kind of extra messages. I know I've done one already, but just kind of more of a collective, what the fuck? There's a lot of that still going on. I get it. I'm in that with you. But hopefully we can just maybe kind of bring some advice or just some information to your current situation. I do still have the book here because I have not memorized all of these yet. So we'll just kind of look to the book just to kind of honor the meaning of the card and then just kind of obviously kind of connect the dots and put it all together. My intention here is just for maybe like a card or two to come out, since I am reading from the book also. It takes a little bit of time. So kind of any more than that, it gets to be a little bit long. And quite frankly, I don't have the storage for it to be much longer than that right now. Oh, shoot. All right. All right, so let's go. What is collective message? What the fuck do we do right now? Collective message. What do we do? They were really talkative when I was like pre-shuffling. And I pre-shuffled a lot. Because, whatever. We have the creator. Oh, this is kind of a lot. The sustainer. I already kind of feel the self and the vessel. I am still going to kind of read from the book, but maybe because already I can just, I mean, there's totally a theme here. Like the theme here is that there seems to be like this period where you may find yourself in incubation, like the womb, the vessel, you know, like the sustainer, again, with, you know, kind of this incubation type feeling, the self, the creator, like, you could be, going through like some type of awakening. This could be just some sort of like leveling up that you've been working towards. Like this is like a brand new you. And I'm kind of also like, for some reason, I'm getting this feeling of like, people may not know this has been your situation or that this is your current situation. Like, I'm just kind of getting that from these two cards here, where this definitely feels a bit more kind of private, like maybe behind closed doors, like maybe you've been hustling in private, right? Like maybe you really haven't been sharing with people the journey that you've been on. If you can hear my dog going crazy. And I can't get enough of like these two cards for some reason, because it almost just kind of seems like this is with like, you know, just kind of the colors are matching a little bit. Like the womb is there. But then also at the same time, it's like, seeing all this black around this little pearl or whatever that is there is kind of reminiscent of this card to me. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to read the messages a little bit because I kind of feel like I'm having a hard time even kind of picking up anything else. And I kind of want to, just in case like there is another story or whatnot here. Obviously I don't want to get stuck just in kind of like one thing, but we have the creator. So let's just look really quick here. Oh, ha! Look what I open up to, the womb. Everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother beyond the mother, in a world that often negates the power and necessity of feminine principles. This card returns us to the warmth, tenderness, and sacred intelligence from which we came. It is a card of receiving, not achieving, of accepting love from the mother of all of us. She is a life-giving force that forgives and cherishes even the most wounded and desperate soul. No matter how lost you are, the womb awaits your return to help you heal and grow. This card is a call to keep things simple, to return to be reborn in the name of love. The womb is everywhere. It is beyond gender, beyond time. We are within it as it is within us. Absolutely. Like I said, just the incubation thing, like this is like creating yourself out of your own image. Like, I mean, everybody, right? Like nobody escapes childhood unscathed, right? So, we grow up with these expectations, these societal demands, these quote unquote, the American dream, the, like whatever was kind of these ideals and principles that were kind of imposed on us, right? Which is understandable. But then, there kind of comes a point where you're like, yeah, I mean, like those things have definitely worked and they've gotten me to kind of where I am, but they're no longer in alignment with actually who I want to be and how I actually want to manifest my life. Right. So then, like we go back into this womb energy and, again, like, I mean, it even talks about like forgiveness and, receiving, right? Like, it's being in the flow. Keeping it simple, right? Not with all these expectations and everything that has just been, that we've just kind of picked up through the journey of life, right? The creator is the first archetype in the trio of existence. Oh, the creator, the first archetype in the trio of existence is not intimidated by darkness or by lack. They know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges. With meager, minimal, and outlandish materials, the creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away. Though generative, this archetype annihilates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. The creator does this by first being absolutely present to what is, not imagining or wishing things were different, and second, trusting that a force greater than themselves awaits constant collaboration with each human soul, whether we call it nature, God, goddess, Shakti, or divinity. It remains nameless. It is the creator's lifelong companion. Just this, what's the word? Oh my gosh. It is seriously the simplest word. Okay, you know what? It's fine. We have the Sustainer, who is the second archetype. Now we have an actual, okay, this reading actually wants to take my words away. Like, am I actually speechless right now? No, because I'm talking, but I cannot find the words. Okay. I'm just going to read this. The Sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The Sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to achieve, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the Sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the Sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The Sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. Beautiful. So I feel like these two, what they have in common is like this simplicity, right? Like, because really, you know, like the womb is also the creator of life, right? I mean, we need the womb to sustain an embryo's life, right? You know, like while they grow and all of the things that happen in the womb. And this creator card, again, you know, like just keeping it simple. It's like this idea of, you know, we have everything that we need to move forward. We may not think so, and rarely I do. I'm always like, I need this, I need that. You know, like once I have this, once I've accomplished this, once I have perfected this, then I'll feel a certain way. No, that is not how it works. Really, all that does is just, it kind of, kind of takes the joy away from the present moment, because it's saying that I can't be happy or I can't be content, I can't create until I have certain things or certain situations in my life have resolved, whatever the case may be. And with the Sustainer card, I'm just kind of getting this feeling of like, this is kind of like going through the motions. Like, it's like, you know, kind of the upkeep on your life. You're like kind of like just doing the bare minimum, or the minimum required to sustain your life, right? Like, I mean, feeding yourself, working for income to pay your bills, you know, like hygiene, all of those things, and maybe not. Honestly, been there. But it's just kind of, like I said, like kind of going through the motions. It's like, you know, saving face. It's like, you know, people on the outside, they see you kind of still going through your day to day, and they may not even realize that this, there's this new version of you that is starting to come into focus. Progression is the word that I was looking for before. Like, we have a progression from the first archetype in the trio of existence to the second type archetype in the trio of existence. Also, you know, like, I mean, this card even mentions being burnt out, right? So there very well could have been a situation, like, you know, your situation could be that you are so burned out as you should be, really? We've been in a pandemic going on 3 years now. Like, you should be burnt out. So, you know, like this may have just kind of taken a little bit of a back seat. Or not, honestly. I mean, you know, like, again, you know, I kind of want to put all of the things that are coming to my mind, and my face just got all tingly. You could just be like, you know, fuck it, YOLO. I'm going to focus on all of this, you know, like my creativity and the things that I do want to create. You know, like annihilate perceived notions of what is possible. I think too, you know, and as a result of this pandemic, that, I think if there is one kind of, positive thing, if you want to call it that we can take away from it, is that literally anything is possible. Like, oh, is that an L? Because who would have thought, seriously, who would have thought that anything that has happened in the last few years would have been possible in their lifetimes? You know what I mean? Not me. And I was around for, I mean, I was 18 when 9/11 happened, you know, like, I mean, 2008 up and through, you know, 2010, like the housing bubble thing. I mean, we've been through some things, right? But still nothing to this extent. So again, you know, I mean, it could just be, you know, having this realization. And if you haven't yet, have the realization that literally anything is possible. Anything. So we have the self. The self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personalities to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress any of its parts, as it lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and a place, and leads us to experience a full breadth of life's offerings. The self is a central abiding container, the awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. When this card appears, it's a call to step back into witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world. Ask yourself, am I the stew or am I the chef? In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is a graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, observing, as a spectrum of ingredients becomes a flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. Attempt to see the you behind the you. That is deep. Also, I just kind of wanted to get to this card really quick. LX. I don't know if I'm going the right. No, I'm not going the right way. Oh. There we go. I just wanted to get to that. Sorry. So, you know, I find what's interesting is that this pearl right here is the same pearl that's in the womb. I mean, of course, right? Because the self comes from the womb. But even still, you know, just having both cards on the table here. And I love that. I love how this, you know, like even the colors in this are the same kind of watercolors that are happening in this creator card. So again, you know, like it's like, you know, you may be here kind of like what, you know, again, in this sustainability, survival mode type situation. But this creator is like what has been bubbling or what is bubbling. It's, you know, like it's you becoming the chef. This is the stew and this is the chef, right? But also, I mean, like, you can't have one without the other, right? So I think that's so interesting. And then the vessel may be the most powerful archetype form on earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full, or perhaps there is no vessel at all, and the contents spill in every direction? Is it natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart? Oh, it is natural for structures to form and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. Is it time for you to build, break, or repair? You must find out. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I was trying to say in the beginning, and maybe I didn't communicate it well enough. Hashtag throat healing still going on. But there seems to be this rebirth happening. It seems like you're in a cocoon, you're goo right now. And it's like, because when that happens, or I guess the way that it worked for me, speaking from, like my own experience, of course, I don't want to speak for everybody, but when I was goo, I looked at everything. I looked at, there's so many things that changed or shifted or just completely fell off altogether from, mind, body, and spirit. And, it wasn't all at once. It was like, there was one thing, that, I was just kind of focusing on for whatever reason. It presented itself in its life or in my life, and I ran with it. But, like just being that goo in the cocoon, it really does give you a chance to, like, is the life that I have created up to now, is this a life that, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, however, many years from now, is this how I still want my life to look like? Are these the same thoughts that I want to be having? Are these the same struggles that I want to be having? Like, all those things. And then, all the tools available, right? Like, journaling, reading, like Googling just random phrases. Like, I remember I went through a period where I was Googling, is reality even real? And I fell down that rabbit hole and bought a couple books related to that. Like, what I mean? It's literally everything is under advisement, right? Like, nothing is being, no stone is being left unturned. So again, but like I said, with the sustainer card, it's, you still have to have enough stability and sustain enough of your life, right? To keep a roof over your head, keep yourself fed, get in a shower every couple days. Because this is all heavy work too. Like, this is not easy. This is not, which I kind of think is like, where the vessel comes in, because it is, like being in that, like I said, I'm just kind of using the analogy of a cocoon, but it's not easy. Like, and again, like I was saying before, at the risk of repeating myself, we pick up all of these, coping mechanisms, and how do we react to our feelings getting hurt? How are we triggered? How do we react to success? Do we have joy in our life? Do we allow ourselves to be happy? Right? So it's like, I'm just kind of getting this feeling that ourselves it's all under the microscope. It's all being looked at. And we have the flame under here, which is so funny because, yeah. These two cards like kind of stuck together, but this is like the spark of a new thing, like the spark of an idea. And then, you know, we have the vision card here, which, you know, you can kind of see this little spark, you know, like this kind of looks like the flame to me. And even last time, if you watched the video last time, there was the cave, I think, that came out, like, and it's right there again, which is so amazing. But it's like, you know, changing the vision that that you have for the rest of your life. Like, how do you want to proceed forward? What type of person do you want to be? When you do look in the mirror for 30 seconds, what do you want to see? How do you want to feel about the person looking back at you, right? This could also be, of course, you know, like our health. I mean, you know, like it could be something to do, that could just be in the process of all of this too, is just, again, reevaluating how we treat our vessels, how we treat these meat suits that we decided to occupy in our time on this planet, right? Like, have I been treating it well? For me, no. Do I want to treat it better? Yes, right? So I know this is kind of like, you know, again, like, what the fuck do I do? Like, you know, you stay in the cocoon, you evaluate all these things, you stay in the womb, you incubate, you allow yourself to kind of fully form, and then, you know, like emerge when you're ready. I mean, it's up to you. I'm getting this like rebirth feeling, of course. And I love all this color on here too. So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm sending all of my love to you. Bye.